On the 4th of July 2017, troops conducted clearance patrol to Katara Gidanduze along Goza Limankara Road, where 8 Boko Haram terrorists were killed in an encounter, while 1 was captured alive. Troops also destroyed an ID factory run by the insurgents and recovered cans of fertilizer for making IED, 1 toolbox, 11 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO, 6 rounds of fabricated 7.62 NATO, 11 rounds of fabricated 7.62 mm special ammunition, and 4 Boko Haram banners. Now to troops' encounter with Boko Haram terrorists. A number of encounters were attempted by elements of fleeing Boko Haram terrorists against own troops during the period under review. Most of the attempts were unsuccessful and promptly defeated by own troops. Some of the details are as follows. On 15 March 2017, troops' location at Magumeri was attacked by elements of Boko Haram terrorists. Though the attack was repelled, it was not without a cost. Regrettably, we lost an officer and 4 soldiers in the attack. Unconfirmed number of Boko Haram terrorists were killed in that attack, and troops captured 1 gun truck, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 2 anti-aircraft spear barrel, 2 rocket-propelled gun bombs, 31 pieces of explosives, 1 roll of detonating cord, 160 mm mortar bomb, 160 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO links, and 172 rounds of anti-aircraft gun links. Others were 3 spear barrels with rim, 1 vulcanizing pumping machine, 1 motorcycle, assorted foodstuff and drugs, 3 pair of camouflage uniforms, and 12 blankets. Also, on 17 April 2017, at about 18:15 hours, troops deployed at Forward Operational Base, Sabongari, had an encounter with Boko Haram terrorists. It is quite unfortunate that the first engagement to quell the attack, sadly, we lost 5 of our soldiers who fought gallantly to defend the location. 9 soldiers who were wounded in the encounter are still receiving medical attention. On 7th of June 2017, troops had an encounter with Boko Haram terrorist elements who sneaked into Jidarupolo, a community in Maiduguri town. In the process, they set some houses ablaze and attempted to attack an IDP camp in the area. In the ensuing encounter with own troops that went for reinforcement, 3 Boko Haram terrorists were killed, and 1 AK-47 rifle and 2 mortar bombs were recovered, while normalcy was immediately restored to the area. On the 20th of June 2017, civilian convoy being escorted to Damboa was ambushed by Boko Haram terrorist elements at Abari village along Maiduguri-Damboa Road. Reinforcement was dispatched to the scene to extricate the convoy. Next will be suicide bombers and improvised explosive device attacks. Current developments indicate that Boko Haram terrorists, having been decimated, have callously resorted to the use of innocent women and children to carry out suicide IED attacks on soft and vulnerable targets. They have also used this category of people as human shield when attacking own troops in a show of utter disregard for the sanctity of human life and incorrigible disregard for international humanitarian law and fundamental human rights. In most of their morbid attempts, the suicide bombers blew up themselves as our troops responsibly engaged them before they reached their targets. On the whole, 97 IED incidents, including persons-borne and vehicle-borne IED, were recorded during this period. Aside employing physical security measures, troops of Operation Lafiya Dole have also made it a point of duty to sensitize the public on these developments through various media. This is to increase awareness and bring about certain behavioral changes that will show public alertness to counter the BHT IED campaign. It is pertinent to once again use this opportunity to call on the good people of the Northeast, particularly Borno State, to work hand in glove with the security forces by being vigilant and report suspicious persons and activities to security agencies. Now to rescued civilians. The period under review has witnessed a lot of operations to extricate locals who were held hostage or escaping from fleeing Boko Haram terrorists who are seeking refuge in far-flung villages in the hinterland, as our troops intensify their clearance efforts. Unfortunately, a developing trend indicates that some fleeing Boko Haram terrorists are now melting into groups of locals in an attempt to stealthily join up in IDP camps as IDPs. A good number of them have been identified and arrested as own troops in collaboration with paramilitary agencies scrupulously screen the locals before they are admitted into the IDP camps. A case in point was on the 7th of March 2017 when troops uncovered and arrested 5 Boko Haram terrorists who had disguised as internally displaced persons among a group of 474 persons intercepted by the troops when approaching Dikwa from Mulie and Massa villages along road Dikwa-Gulumbagana. On the whole, 19,642 persons were rescued, screened, and handed over to various IDP camps during the period under review. Arrest of Boko Haram suspects. Several suspects were arrested during the period in connection with Boko Haram activities. Put together, 810 Boko Haram terrorists were arrested during the period under review. Some of the details are as follows. On 27 March 2017, following intensified surveillance activities, 2 suspected Boko Haram terrorists, Al-Hassan Jibir and Mustafa Salihu, were arrested at Al-Kashinga and Gombe Line Motor Park, respectively. The suspect gave information leading to the arrest of Mustafa Salihu, a high-profile Boko Haram terrorist, identified as serial 239 on the 3rd edition of Images of Wanted Boko Haram Terrorists published by the Nigerian Army. Also, on the same day, troops deployed at Gire intercepted 3 persons, namely Alhaji Ali Adamu, Muhammad Dauda, and Hajia Hadiza Bello in a Peugeot 406 with registration number Abuja BWR 604GL en route Mubi, Kano, who were conveying fake 1,000 naira bills to the tune of 5,504,000 naira only. All the notes were bearing a single serial, A/16776544. On the 3rd of April 2017, troops in Monguno arrested 2 foreigners suspected to be key Boko Haram informants. The suspects, Kolo Adam, a Cameroonian, and Mata Francois, a Chadian, were arrested while on espionage mission in Monguno town. The suspects, disguised as scrap metal dealers, when arrested, they later confessed to be from Falia village, close to Saada, in the fringes of Chukungudu. The suspects are still being investigated.